welcome to Bycast, the Byfleet podcast with Amanda Boot.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Bycast, where we bring you news from our villages and surrounding areas. I'm Amanda Boot and I'll be hosting the show today. Today we'll be speaking about Byfleet United Charities and the work that they've been doing for 120 years in the ancient parish of Byfleet. It's a wonderful charity and we're really excited to tell you more about the great work that they do. And if it's a little bit noisy during my recording, that's because we're recording live from St Mary's. We're actually at the new Sandwich Board Cafe, which I'd urge you all to come and try out. It's open during the week and the cakes are amazing. So we also have an update today on Woking Borough Council's budget vote and what it means for our residents, in particular the increase in council tax that we're all really concerned about, so we'll touch on that later. And as always, I'm going to bring you another story about our local community and Byfleet. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and please share our channel with your friends and family by using the links posted below on the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Bycast by clicking the bell.
Government officials insist.
Welcome back. Our main update today is Woking Borough Council's budget vote and its impact on our residents. Naturally, we're all really concerned about the current situation. The council tax charge is set to rise by just under 10% from the 1st of April 2024. That means that a Band D household will pay £289.43 a year, an increase of £26.31, and that works out at about 50 pence a week. Now, the Borough Council's tax charge will be added to Surrey County Council's 4.99% increase. That includes their adult social care charge, £1,758.60 for Band D households, and Surrey Police and Crime Commissioner's 4.19% increase, or £323.57 for Band D households. To support those who are struggling to pay rising bills, elected members agreed to allocate £100,000 to the Council's Hardship Relief Scheme and Household Support Fund, as well as a fund package of support through Citizens Advice Woking. Obviously, we don't want to be in a position to increase council tax, and I personally voted against this at the council meeting, or rather I abstained. The reason I couldn't actually vote against this is we literally didn't have any choice. If we didn't increase council tax, and obviously I don't agree with increasing it, and I have to pay it as well, the increase, if we don't do that, then it meant that we didn't return what's called a balanced budget to the government. And without a balanced budget, the government would then have to step in and they would be running Woking, which means I wouldn't be a councillor anymore. We wouldn't have a council in effect. We would have government commissioners who would be running Woking, and then we would have no control at all. So it put us in a very difficult position. None of us wanted to vote for an increase in council tax, but we literally had no choice. So I personally chose to abstain because I recognised that we needed to return the balanced budget, but I didn't agree with the council tax increase. But anyway, we are where we are, and I just wanted to explain it to you. Please do send us your comments on this topic, as we understand that most of you feel it's really unfair, and that I agree, it's not right that residents should be having to pay the price of the mess that we're in. And it is a further burden of financial responsibility to us all when it's a difficult time. I recognise that. We're all struggling. There's a cost of living crisis. But we will make sure that Woking Borough Council hears all of your discontent. Even if nothing can be done, we do believe your voices and opinions count. So do get in touch and let us know how you feel. That's what we're here for. Right. Now I'm going to hand over to Steve, my colleague, who's going to tell you all about Byfleet United Charities today. Thank you.
Many have never heard of United Byfleet Charity. However, their positive impact on our communities has lasted for centuries. And this charitable organisation grew out of a true sense of support for the community. For more than 100 years, Byfleet United Charity has been serving the people of Byfleet and West Byfleet, and in fact its roots reach far further into the history of the two villages. Back in 1905, the Charity Commissioners reorganised 5 local charities, amalgamating them under the title of the United Charities of Byfleet. The Lady Magdalene Bruce's charity was created in 1635 for the relief and comfort of the honest, poor, painful people. And as such, as were past Labour, the Poor's Land Charity originated from the Byfleet and Weybridge Enclosure Act of 1811. That allocated certain common and wasteland for the benefit of the poor. The George Poulton Charity was created through his will, moved in 1878, and Henry Smith's charity gave the people of the ancient parish of Byfleet a share of the legacy of this remarkable 17th century alderman. The Raper Charity for the poor arose from a determination order made by the Charity Commission in 1904. In addition to the original 5 in 1921, a trust was formed with a gift donated by Mr. F.C. Stoop of West Hall for the benefit of the needy, aged people of Byfleet and West Byfleet. This gift was a mark of his gratitude for the end of the First World War and the safe return of his sons and sons-in-law, all of whom served in that war. These 6 charities then formed the basis of the Byfleet United Charity we know today, and the task is basically the same, working for people in need living in the ancient parish of Byfleet. The ancient parish extends slightly beyond the villages of Byfleet and West Byfleet to include parts of Brookland Road in Weybridge and parts of Shearwater nearest West Byfleet. To tell us more about Byfleet United's charity's work, we would like to introduce you to Andrew Grimshaw, joining us now for a chat on BUC.
Thank you, Steve.
Oh, and how has BUC benefited our communities?
Well, over the years, there have been many land swaps, but the core of helping those in need has continued to this day. It actually started with 34 acres in West Byfleet and 10 acres in Byfleet Village. Over the years, some of that land has been sold for community-related buildings and the creation of recreation grounds and allotments in both villages. In recent years, as the pensioner income has increased, there has been a change of focus away from those over 65 to include younger families and children. So thinking about today, in 2023, the charity awarded over £200,000 in grants, helping 1,600 individuals, around 13% of the residents of Byfleet and West Byfleet. These grants were focused on alleviating financial hardship, promoting personal health and well-being, improving educational attainment, addressing isolation, loneliness and community, plus providing affordable housing for those over 55 in the almshouse. In fact, this building was built in 1986 and it provides sheltered accommodation for those aged over 55, and there are 24 apartments. The sheltered accommodation is subject to a financial assessment, but anyone over 55 can apply, provided they have at least 1 year's connection with Byfleet and West Byfleet. The grants over a number of areas, but we spent £71,000 in the form of short-term support to 59 families and individuals who found themselves in temporary financial difficulties. £51,000 was provided through 376 grants from our Essential Grants programme to pay for items such as food bank vouchers, supermarket vouchers, clothing, furniture, kitchen appliances. A full list of the kind of items can be found on our BUC website. £80,000 was given as community grants supporting 25 local organisations who in turn helped 1,500 individuals. This included, for example, £15,000 for the ongoing Citizens Advice Woking, provide a weekly advice centre on Wednesday afternoons at the Methodist Church. a grant of £10,000 to the 3 local primary schools in Byfleet and West Byfleet. £8,000 to support the repairs of the spire at St Mary's Church. £7,000 for the cost of a van for the Woking Community Furniture Project. £3,000 for the West Byfleet Community Fridge, and a further £3,000 has been promised for the Byfleet Community Fridge. And there was £2,000 for raised flower beds at Stream Close. As I said, it also runs the almshouse for 26 residents, and in the last 4 years it's invested £450,000 to improve the quality of the facilities.
Okay, Andy, how does BUC plan to continue to work within the local community, and how can we get the general public to engage with BUC?
The charity is very fortunate to have a number of land holdings still, the most important of which financially is the Campbell Industrial Estate, which we own and lease the land to the various businesses, and that generates about £300,000 a year income to us, and that's how we mainly fund our grants. But we also have other income from letting some of the land we have here. We own the land used by the allotments, the playing fields behind the first and the junior school and the infant and junior schools in West Byfleet. We have the land on which the Campbell Social Club is based and the West Byfleet Scouts Association, but those are very low rents. But in terms of how we continue to go forward, we have started a donation page on our website for donations from the public. We've never done fundraising with institutions because we are quite well endowed. But interesting, this afternoon we are considering a request for a grant of £25,000 to continue the daycare services at St Mary's, and also at the same meeting we'll be considering whether BUC initiates an expression of interest under the Community Asset Transfer Scheme to take over the buildings at St Mary's Community Centre. I would emphasise this is a temporary measure whilst the community creates its own organisation to run that in the future. Otherwise, it's very much steady as she goes. Continue the same activities again in 24 as in 23.
Excellent. BUC's long positive influence in our community by keeping its ethos of working for people in need has allowed many of our residents to have well-being in their golden years, as well as younger ones to thrive and excel in their objectives. They continue to work tirelessly for the well-being of all the people in Byfleet. If you'd like to learn more about BUC and their work in our communities, please visit their website. The link is posted below in the description.
To close, the charity will continue to provide support to the community without fanfare. Both the charity and the beneficiaries prefer it that way.
Welcome to today's story, all about Byfleet, and because traffic's on everyone's mind these days, and particularly last weekend with the closure of the M25, you might have seen me on the TV or heard me on the radio talking about that. Well, we'd like to tell you about the Piatti, Byfleet's own manufactured scooter. The Piatti scooter was designed by an Italian, Mr. Vincent Piatti, and put into production in 1956 at the Cycle Master Works in Byfleet. The body was like a submarine, the nose like a grinning shark, and it was tatty, but what a fascinating machine. They failed to find many customers for this product, so ends the very short Piatti entry into the Irwin Tregatch Illustrated Encyclopedia of Motorcycles. The wheelbase was very short and the steering angle rather steep, giving to lively steering. The engine moves independently of the body, providing the suspension. The pressed steel body gave complete enclosure. Above the grille-fronted nose is a semicircular plastic-coated wrap for carrying chickens to market. How lovely. The dual seat was mounted on a post in the fashion of a push bike and could be adjusted in the same way. On the underside of the seat pan are two hooks, one on the left and one on the right, to hang bags of shopping. The spare tyre is carried at the rear beneath the pillion section of the seat. Gear change is on the left handlebar by way of a twist grip to the 3-speed box at the rear hub. The gearbox design was a weak point and frequently broke, unfortunately. The worst scooter ever perpetrated and was absolutely lethal, so said Bob Curry in a letter to a friend trying to find out about them. Harsh words perhaps, but probably not far wrong.
Get your motor running, head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way.
We really hope that you enjoyed today's episode. Please check the links below where you can post your comments and follow more on our local news. We would also like to thank our supporters that have made the podcast possible: St Mary's Community Centre, Cafe Carlo, and of course yourselves. This podcast is for all of you, the community, and we would like to help you get the word out. Please share this channel with your family, friends and neighbours and help us to reach our target of 300 channel subscribers in 30 days. Rate, review and subscribe by hitting the bell to Bycast and follow us on all social media platforms. All links are posted below. Next week we'll be bringing in a special guest to talk to us about the Access self-storage fire and how this tragic event has influenced the unit holders and how they are still in pursuit of closure. We'll also bring you more updates on local news and of course another entertaining story. Please join us next week for a whole lot more on the Byfleets and surround. I'm Amanda Boot and thank you for listening to Bycast. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to Bycast. We'll see you next week.